So, hello, Joe. Good afternoon. How are you?
Hello, Martin. Yes, I'm very well. Thank you for having me.
And so, you're one of the leaders in the Colchester, I want to use the word branch, but I don't know if that's the right word, of the Open Table Network. First of all, why don't you just tell us a little bit about what the Open Table Network is and what it's all about?
So, Open Table Network, it is basically a church service for people within the LGBT plus community, friends, family, and allies, and particularly for those who've maybe been hurt by the church in the past with some of the policies and the way that things have been interpreted over the years, and maybe they haven't found their place in a church. There are people who've been kicked out of churches, and there's some awful stories. So there was a need really, and it began in Liverpool in 2008, and it's now spread to there's 34 communities across the country.
Wow. So, a growing organisation, then, growing community, if you like. So, how did you first become involved then, Joe?
I hadn't heard of Open Table myself, but the Living in Love and Faith process that the Church of England began, which was a few years ago now, but a couple of years ago, they released some guidance to address the issue of the fact that they don't allow same sex marriage, technically, don't allow same sex coupled clergy either, with some certain rule twists. And I've been involved with the Church of England for 5 or 6 years now, but I'm a gay person myself, and I hadn't really thought too much about what the policies might be until the Living in Love and Faith course came out. And I just became really angry at the injustice,
Mm.
and needed a place to channel that anger. So our lovely vicar Sue hooked me up with Sarah Batts-Neal, who's the University of Essex chaplain, because she'd been looking at doing some kind of inclusive services. So we had our first meeting, I think it was March last year. And then by October last year, we had our branch of Open Table set up.
Fantastic. And is it well attended?
It's surprisingly well attended. We probably get between 15 to 20 people, I'd say, per month. It's only once a month at the moment, which I thought, I wasn't quite sure that was a decent amount. But then one of the founders of Open Table came to one of our services about 3 months in, and I said to him, I thought, maybe we'd have more people by now. I want to advertise more. And he said the first meeting in Liverpool, they had 6 people for the first 2 years.
Oh, right.
That really put that into context. So, yeah, I'm very, very grateful for what we've got. And it is growing.
Right. So, if any of our listeners out there are in that exact position where they're maybe wanting to find somewhere or whatever, how can they find out some more information?
So our socials are a great place to start. We have Facebook, Open Table Colchester. It is a private group, so if there are any concerns about privacy, that's fully private and confidential. We have Instagram, which is again at Open Table Colchester, and we also have Twitter at Open Table Colch. The Open Table Network website, we do have our own page on there as well. So that's always a good one to look at for info. But the most up-to-date info is on our socials.
And you say you meet once per month at the moment. Can you tell us a little bit more about perhaps when that takes place?
Yeah, it takes place on the second Sunday of every month. We're at St Matthew's Church on Harwich Road in Colchester. And that's usually a communion service, but we have a nice little time beforehand where we have tea, coffee, cake. Somebody's always bringing cake or biscuits along. So we do, that's why I go for the cake. But we do have a really good time, and it's just a lovely, safe space to worship and to be exactly who you are.
That's really important, isn't it? Particularly for people that may have, as you mentioned earlier, have suffered some real hurt in the past. It's good to know that there is this safe environment that they can go in and as you say, just be themselves, and no one's going to judge them at all. So that's really, really good, Joe. Well, I wish you every single success with it. And if you want to find out more, remember what Joe said there, all the socials, Facebook, Open Table Colchester, you'll find it. Instagram, Open Table Colchester, and Twitter, Open Table Colch, and I do know that Joe said to me earlier that is only because of the limitation of Twitter. We couldn't get the Colchester on there, so no, but that is really, really good. Joe, thank you so much for coming along and talking to us. And as I said, do wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Martin.